Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is Teacher.
Hello.
And for this episode, we watched episode 2 of Into the Dark, which was called Flesh and Blood. Before we get into it, spoiler warning now! If you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead to the time code you see on the screen. Let's get into our teeny tiny cast and crew rundown. This was directed by Patrick Lussier. He has done Prophecy 3, Dracula 2000, Dracula 2, Dracula 3, and My Bloody Valentine.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Right. And he's done more notable movies as an editor. So he has more editing credits than directing credits. This was written by Louis Ackerman. This is his first full-length movie. He's done 2 shorts previously. All right, as for the cast, Kimberly was Diana Silvers. This is the first thing she's ever been in.
Oh.
And she has a role coming up in Glass.
Oh.
Henry was, of course, Dermot Mulroney. He was in American Horror Story as Bob Thompson. He's been in Insidious Chapter 3. He was in Stoker, Zodiac, Undertow, etc., etc., etc. He's been in a billion things. And then, finally, Dr. Saunders was Tembi Locke. She would be most known to people from the TV show Eureka, and she was in Dumb and Dumber 2. And that's cast and crew unless you knew who the cops were.
No.
Okay. Let's get into our initial thoughts. What do you think?
At first, I wasn't digging it.
Okay.
But then I was digging it.
Okay.
And so, yours?
This wasn't very good for a variety of reasons. Maybe if I didn't have to compare it to episode 1, which was way superior to me in almost every way, it wouldn't bother me. I don't think that's true, though. I still think this would have been even by itself. Episode 1, The Body, that was pretty much centered around Halloween. This had Thanksgiving just as like window dressing.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that.
And so I didn't really dig that. And then most of everything else I'll just say for mediocre because I don't want to let that cat out of the bag yet. So, all right. Want to get to our breakdowns?
Yes.
Okay. What was your favorite scene?
Favorite scenes? Well, for me, it was just a couple scenes. It was just the dad losing his shit.
Okay.
He went from slightly neurotic dad to extremely psychotic dad at like drop of a hat. So I liked that.
Okay.
And yours?
Do I have to pick? Like, this wasn't good. I guess I'll go with the dual scenes of them with the cops. Like the one cop and the dad in the kitchen, and then Kim and the cop in the living room. Just because I was waiting for the dad to kill the other cop.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting for something to slip, and then mayhem breaks loose. So I'll go with that. It was the only time I really gave a shit. Speaking of, what was your holy shit moment?
I don't really have one because it was all still formulaic.
Yes, yes, it was.
I mean, if anything, you could take the fact that he didn't kill the cops as the holy shit moment. Yeah, so.
All right. And I think in the same vein, we could take the end. I was waiting for the dad to reach out for her around the bathroom window. That didn't happen, so less is more, I guess. I'm going to go with the cliche one, though, when the dad slit the doctor's throat. We saw it coming, of course.
Yes.
But they did a decent job with the effects, and it looked brutal as fuck. All right, now it's time for my moment to shine. What was your mediocre moment?
For me, it was like the first half of the movie.
When did it turn for you? Because I didn't get that. What was it that finally, like, was there a moment or a scene that you felt turn the corner and you were on your phone less?
Well, for me, it was mostly probably when my battery was dying, but
you had to suffer.
It was also his facade started to crack.
Okay.
When she first confronted him, and I think they were still trying to toy with the audience that it's kind of throwing that hint out that maybe he's not crazy, but then in his own behavior is like he's crazy. So Probably around that point is when it started turning for me and I started getting into it.
Okay.
But everything prior to that,
Mm-hmm.
Pinterest time. So
Fair. This was a small cast movie. We saw like 5 people total. 2 of them had to carry the movie. 2.5 with the doctor. When you have a movie like this that's carried by a small cast, in order for it to succeed, in order for it to feel at all interesting or special, the acting has to be good. The acting was very, very bad in this to me. I thought the acting was really, really subpar. One of the many ways that Into the Dark 1, episode 1, was much better. The acting was much better. I don't know. It fell flat with me. We'll just go with that. And the acting just ruined the entire movie for me because it wasn't very good. Kimberly's delivery was really freaking weird, and her emoting was really freaking weird. The acting is the biggest mediocre thing to me, and it really kind of just ruined the entire experience for me.
you touched upon another mediocre moment for me,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
When she pulled the dad outside,
Mm-hmm.
and was telling her, just basically laying out the groundwork for us to suspect the girl's mental state.
Yeah, it wasn't done well.
Like, her entire delivery of that was I don't think it was accurate.
B, it was unprofessional.
B, unprofessional. And C, it had foreshadowing written all over it.
They did a horrible job of creating doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I never once thought that it wasn't the dad.
Mm-hmm.
Because it clearly was the dad. So, yeah, that's another, yeah. Blah. All right, if any, LOL moment.
I didn't have one.
Okay. All right, my LOL moment is I think it was the second time she went outside. Oh, no, she was going to go outside to meet her aunt who wasn't even on the way. I don't know where she was going. And she's just spinning in a circle going, the outside, I busted out laughing. Cause it was like, I'm like, you're not very good. It's funny. I'm sorry.
I remember thinking at the very beginning, and it's like, it's a dick move for the delivery guy to leave the package
In the rain.
on the edge of the porch to where it's not being covered.
I knew then what we were in for, because that never happens. They don't do that. If they cannot leave it by your door in a covered spot, at least they will not leave the package.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a rule, I think. I knew that. It's in my notes too. Yeah. So yeah, I knew what we were in for. I was like, this is going to be written very. We need to establish this point, so she needs to go as far away from the door as possible. Instead of reality, she just had to open the door and reach around the edge and grab it, which is where it would be in real life. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add? You want to go to my notes?
Notes is fine.
Philip's notes. I think I want to find the Agoraphobe Support Association, since I'm pretty much an agoraphobe. I don't have when I go outside. I just hate going outside.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't spin in a circle and hear sirens and shit. And I think they need more members because they only have 3. So I think my inclusion could be like, hey, possibly cute dude.
Oh, I thought the same thing.
Did you go outside today? No, me either. So she needs to master the art of grasping letters out of a mailbox from around the corner better. Because that was really funny how she did it. And she needs to master getting packages off a step. Because she just hit it and it fell off the edge. It's like, you're horrible at everything you do. Then the doctor arrives and she says, this was on the front porch. And I said, nope. No, it wasn't. It was not on the porch at all. Side note, this is just me. Blowing out candles is so fucking gross to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to eat your spit cake.
Mm-hmm.
It's, gross. Don't, yuck. No, ugh. I thought the sessions with the doctor were weird. Like, they weren't very private.
No. I thought that was...
And then the doctor was kind of unprofessional, too. And she's like, it must be a headache living with this mess every day.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you? It's their house.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hoarders or anything. He's quote-unquote renovating the house. I think the actress did fine. They just didn't write her very well.
Mm-hmm.
Minor holy shit moment was when she saw the necklace on the screen. I thought that was a nice touch. A good way to introduce the suspicion and doubt.
Yes, but at the same time, I'm like, that shit could be sold at Target.
But not with the same blemish.
Yes.
I wrote they're doing a poor job of portraying the dad as innocent. because he clearly wasn't. I did like the moment when she tried to take the bolt off the hinge in the door. Thought that was smart. I did like that the dad knew she was in the wall, like right away. Like he wasn't pretending that, where are you at, Kimberly, honey? Or, honey, where are you at, Kimberly? With his crazy, creepy dad voice. And then she dumped the sleeping stuff into the tea. I thought that was another mediocre thing. I like that she did it, but all you have to do is inject a little bit into somebody and they're out. And he was drinking.
Well, not that, but also, I've never seen one of those tops for that type of medical liquid or whatever come off so easily.
I was kind of annoyed that she used all of it, and then it did what it did, which is nothing. I get that he didn't drink all the tea, but I think he ingested enough of it that he would have been out, one, sooner, way sooner, and two, longer. So that was more formulaic plot stuff I didn't care for. I really, 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 really hated the dad's justification for killing the girls. I need to protect you, and his whole... I didn't like it. There was a mistake, as far as I know, unless somebody can explain it. When the dad falls through the roof into Kim's room, there are shadows moving outside her door. So yeah, there's like shadow movement, so I think that was a mistake. That's all for my notes. Everything else is cast and crew.
Okay.
Anything else to let add? You want to go to final thoughts?
Final thoughts is fine.
Take it away.
Final thoughts was... Yeah? I mean, it was okay. It was nice to see Dermot Mulroney again. But, yeah, as you had said, the first episode, the Halloween episode, the body was far superior. So, let's hope that December's episode is going to be better.
Let's hope that December's episode actually has to do with Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or something related to December in some way. My final thoughts, I mean, if you want to watch the anthology like we are, obviously check it out. As a movie by itself, you can completely skip this one. It is not worth it. And yeah, meh. All right, that takes care of final thoughts. But before we go, as it pertains to Flesh and Blood, what do we learn?
You go first, because I'm going to have to think on that.
I guess I learned that... Remember in The Sound of Music? Was it Julie Andrews is spinning around in a circle in the fucking field? Maybe she was having an agoraphobic episode. I don't fucking know. Whatever. I didn't like this movie. It was ridiculous.
I can't really think of anything that I learned. I mean...
Fair enough.
Me?
Yeah. Agreed. Very much. Well, that wraps up this episode. Thank you for listening. If you have unfortunately seen this episode of Into the Dark, tell us what you thought of the movie in the comments below. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends or cool people who might dig the Vizcast. And please subscribe to the channel, including hitting that notification bell to stay up to date on the newest content. Speaking of, we'll be doing, because we're doing our Christmas horror themed thing this year, so it's either going to be Rare Exports or episode 3 of Into the Dark. So until then, once again, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we'll return next time to talk about Christmassy or TV stuff, or I don't know. We're just all over the place right now, but we got a lot of stuff coming up. So yeah.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.